Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen, and today we are going to be tackling cleaning up this messy, messy shed. I have been watching a channel called Minimal Mom for over a year now, and it has taught me how to minimalize my whole entire home. But one area I haven't minimalized is this super, super messy shed. And today we are going to be going ahead and taking everything out, and we're going to minimalize it and organize it. And I want to show you that whole entire process. Okay, it's time to show you inside of here. It's pretty bad. So not only is it a mess and my garden tools are everywhere and there are wasps also living back underneath here. So when we take all of this out, I'm going to have to be really careful and not get stung. But I have tools in here that I don't ever use. And I have decided that if I'm going to minimize my whole entire house, where I've taken several truckloads to Goodwill and gotten rid of stuff, then I need to carry that over from inside my house out here into the tool shed. And it's just letting go of anything we don't need. Think about it as, what point in your life are you at right now? And if you use it or not. And tell me, if I haven't used this in like 6 months, I definitely don't need it in my life. So I'm going to do a quick time lapse, and Donnie's going to help me. We're going to take everything out, and then I'm going to go over what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of and why. Well, that didn't take us too terribly long to clear it out, but I wanted to show you the wasp nest that is in the shed. And this is a huge problem. So right back there, you can see that there is a wasp nest in my tool shed. So we're going to have to deal with that. And this isn't great because Donnie's allergic to wasps. But I noticed that some of the floor is starting to bow down, and we actually might have to fix that before we can even continue like organizing this, maybe at least getting part of it organized, because I don't want any more wasps living in my tool shed. Can you believe that all of this stuff came out of that little tool shed that's on the back of my really big shed? But it did. And a lot of this I don't use anymore. So what's the point of keeping it? I'd rather donate it and somebody else can get use out of it. So the next step that I need to do is I need to kind of group this into categories of what I do use, what I may use, and what I definitely don't use. So we'll be right back after I've got all this mess around me sorted out. We have everything all nice and organized now. We have it into a larger keep pile, a trash pile, and a donate pile at the end. So we're going to start with the pile right here of what I'm keeping. And I know that I use the snow shovel, the other shovels, these rakes, our post hole digger, and then some of my clippers. And then these are all my hand tools that I do use. And this is all of, like, I've got some fertilizer left in here. And look what I found and totally forgot to use this year because it was at the very bottom, buried under a ton of stuff, are my handmade Oyas. And I even have enough to make another one. These are going front and center when I put everything back into the shed because I do not want to forget to use the Oyas next year. So I found a lot of stuff like that. Another good example. I bought a soaker hose for the garden, and I was going to put it in the zucchini garden and try it out because our drip irrigation, the water here is just so full of sediment, it just instantly plugs and the drip irrigation just does not work here. I don't have clean enough water. But a soaker hose, on the other hand, I think would work, and that's why I bought it to try it out. And did I? Nope. Bottom of the shed again. So now all of this we're going to keep. And here's how I am also going to minimize. I have a hori, and then I have like a dandelion weed pulling tool. I have used this one in the past, but I got a hori, and if you look at the tips, the hori works way better, and it has a lot more functions than this does. So this is going to get donated, and I'm going to keep this one. I don't need two of them. Next, these little digging forks like this, I never use in the garden. I go get one of my little spades. Plus, these two are both plastic, and I don't want plastic tools. They end up breaking too much, so I never use any of these, but they're still in good enough shape that I can donate them. So they will be going into the donate pile. Now, I have this pile right here, which is all the trash pile. This is all just junk. I mean, this one right here is literal trash. I don't know why I was saving these at all. So these, I made these. I do macrame. It's one of my hobbies I like to do besides gardening. I'm going to keep the rings on top because they're still good, but this, not worth it at all. So you have to decide what is trash and what isn't. And you know what? It's okay to let it go. Like I was thinking I'd make this into a kind of a cool planter. There are so many rusty, sharp edges on this. I've got to get rid of it. This is rusted. These don't work. So you know what? It's time to just say goodbye. And you have to learn that when you start out minimalizing for sure. Now this is a spreader for the lawn. We've used once in the, 8 years we've lived here. So time to say goodbye. And also these two tools I have over here, I don't use them anymore. I don't have the type of garden that really needs them. So I'm going to pass them on. And then we do not have the water pressure to use this. So I'm going to pass this on, and this we don't use. So all this stuff is still good, and we can donate it, and we will. But you have to decide, what am I using at this point in my life? And if you're not using it, throw it in the trash if it's broken at all, or donate it and let it have a new life with somebody else. I am so happy that I finally organized this. I want to show you exactly what it looks like. I'm going to take the camera from Donnie. All right. So now I have all my tools hanging up. We bought these a couple of years ago when we built this, and they are awesome for hanging tools. I do recommend using this plywood to reinforce it because some of the tools that we put on here are really heavy. But look down here, I just have my soils back there, my diatomaceous earth, and I had saved this to use, and I put everything that I need for holding up the plants. So that's perfect. And then I also use this container for like watering things and putting my gloves in because it has a nice lid on it and I can shut it even though it's quite dirty. And now I am using this little basket for all of my clippers. They're the Oyas and the Oyas that are going to be coming later on. And then my fertilizer back there. And then also I have this whole area. And I put some of the twine I use to tie up my plants and put it on all of my shovels or, well, spades, hand spades and such. And that way I can easily hang them from the hooks. Same thing with my kneeling pads. And I also put some of the stuff that I need to use next season, like the soaker hose right here. And look at this. This is really funny. Mommy's Tool Shed. Sebastian wrote that a long time ago. So I am extremely happy with how this turned out. It looks so much better. I hope this has inspired you to go ahead and minimalize. It is fantastic. And I will definitely put a link to Dawn's channel down in the descriptions below. That way you can go check it out. It has been a life changer for me to minimalize my whole entire house and now my tool shed too. So thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And don't forget, when we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to have that giveaway. Happy gardening, everyone.